The Old Mint is a National Historic Landmark and the oldest stone federal building on the West Coast. The inside is not open to the public at this time, but take a look at its impressive architecture and consider its dramatic history. The federal government constructed the Old Mint in 1874 to accommodate the wealthiest silver strike in American history, the Comstock Lode. Discovered just a decade after the gold rush in 1859, the Comstock Lode, which was located in western Nevada, produced 10 times the wealth of the gold rush, much of it flowing down here to the Old Mint for processing into coins and bullion. The venerable Old Mint was designed in the Federal Greek Revival style. The 6 Doric columns you see at the front entrance are each 30 feet tall and support a classical portico which resembles a Grecian temple. Each of the mammoth sandstone columns was quarried in Vancouver, British Columbia, and transported to San Francisco by ship. The Old Mint was constructed after a major earthquake in 1868, so its architects designed a formidable structure. Its walls are over 3 feet thick and made of granite, sandstone, brick, and steel. Iron shutters once covered the windows at night, creating a near impenetrable barrier. San Franciscans were inspired by the Mint's classical lines and massive bulk and referred to it affectionately as the Granite Lady. The Granite Lady was active for 63 years and produced over $750 million in gold and silver coins. And at one time, it held a third of all the gold reserves in the United States, making it the Fort Knox of the West. On the morning of April 18, 1906, a massive 8.2 earthquake rocked San Francisco. The Old Mint survived the shaker intact, but the fire afterwards was another story. The earthquake broke water mains and gas lines, triggering multiple fires but leaving firefighters without water. Within a few hours, several fires drew together into one massive conflagration that marched towards the Old Mint. 50 mint workers and a handful of soldiers shuttered themselves inside the Granite Lady and made a stand to protect the building and the $200 million in gold and silver within its vaults. As flames licked the iron shutters and temperatures outside reached as high as 2,700 degrees, the workers fought the blaze, armed with only a single water hose attached to a cistern in the basement. At the height of the fire, showers of hot cinders rained down onto the roof, and flames from adjacent buildings melted the Old Mint's window panes. The sandstone siding on the building's exterior grew so hot, pieces exploded off with thundering force. As buildings around the Mint collapsed and flames roared in through window openings, the Mint workers stood their ground for 7 long hours. When the fire finally moved on, the weary men emerged to a scene of utter devastation. Everywhere, buildings lay in smoldering ruins and the streets were littered with rubble. Then the courageous heroes looked up at the Granite Lady, blackened by soot and battered by flame, and there it stood intact, a testament to their bravery. The firestorm burned all the banks in San Francisco, and most currency was destroyed or trapped in superheated bank vaults that couldn't be opened for weeks. The city desperately needed to begin the job of rebuilding. As the only source of currency, the Old Mint was drafted into service as an umbrella bank, making good on the demands of depositors from banks temporarily closed. This gave citizens access to much-needed funds for survival and rebuilding. And thus, the Old Mint was crucial in helping San Francisco rise from the ashes and rebuild itself into the city it is today.